You know, while the public is fixated on the chatbot wars, a really fundamental shift is happening down in the hardware layer that frankly most analysts are missing. See, Google isn't just iterating on a model, they're actively constructing an inescapable infrastructure, and the target date is 2026. This isn't about building a better chatbot, no. It's about completely restructuring how we interact with computers. Welcome to our trajectory report on Google's AI master plan.
So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get into the real battle, the one happening behind the scenes. Then, we'll map out Gemini's trajectory, how it's evolving from a simple chatbot into a full-blown agent, and how it gets woven into an unbreakable ecosystem. And finally, we'll look at the physical moat they're building and why their position in 2026 looks almost inevitable.
Okay, let's get right to the core of it. While we're all watching these flashy demos, the real war isn't about which chatbot can give you the cleverest answer. That's the sideshow. The main event is a quiet, almost invisible battle for the underlying foundation of our entire digital world.
So, the public story is pretty simple, right? It's a horse race, GPT versus Claude versus Gemini. But the hidden reality, the actual strategy Google is running, is so much more ambitious. It's about building this complete, inescapable ecosystem that's powered by its own AI. And if they pull it off, the question of who has the best model becomes, well, pretty much irrelevant.
And that brings us to the model itself. Now, Gemini 4 isn't officially announced, but you can see it coming. This isn't just another upgrade. If you look at Google's clear trajectory, what we're seeing is the peak of a very aggressive, very intentional scaling pattern.
I mean, just look at the generational leaps here. Each one has been dramatic. Gemini 1 gave us native multimodality. It could understand different kinds of data right out of the box. Gemini 2 and 3 then stacked advanced reasoning and planning on top of that. So the projection for Gemini 4 is that it's the convergence point. This is where it all comes together into a true world model.
To really get your head around the scale we're talking about, look at this number. Gemini 1.5 Pro can process a 1 million token context window. That's like feeding it an entire series of books. And it gets it. This isn't just about reading more text. It's about understanding complex, sprawling information in a way that older models couldn't even dream of. So, what is a world model? I know, it sounds like something out of science fiction, but what it means is a fundamental shift. We are moving from an AI that just understands language to an AI that can actually simulate reality. It could understand a video of your room, figure out the best way to rearrange the furniture, and even predict how the light's going to look at sunset. It's a total game changer.
So if you just connect the dots, we can project what Gemini 4 will probably be able to do. We're talking native video generation, not just understanding it. We're talking 3D spatial reasoning, and that advanced deep think logic, that's going to become a standard feature. On top of that, expect a super specialized coding partner, and this is key, much greater efficiency, which makes even bigger context windows a practical reality. And all of this power leads to the next critical evolution. See, this model isn't just being built to answer your questions anymore. It's being built to take action for you. This slide really maps out that whole strategic shift. We started with AI that could just answer things. Right now, we're in the assist phase, with things like Project Astra giving proactive help. But the endgame, the destination, is the act phase, AI agents that just go and execute complex tasks all on their own.
And listen, this isn't just a concept on a whiteboard. Project Astra is a real prototype, a universal assistant that remembers what it sees on video and adapts to you. And Project Mariner? That's even more futuristic. It's a browser agent that can juggle up to 10 complex tasks at once, researching, booking flights, comparing products, all orchestrated without you having to lift a finger.
So you've got a powerful model that's turning into an active agent. But where does the real power come from? It comes from being everywhere, all at once. This is what we call the ecosystem lock-in.
Gemini isn't going to be some standalone app you have to go find and open. It's being woven right into the fabric of Google's entire world. We're talking AI in search, baked into Workspace, becoming the default assistant on billions of Android devices. It's designed to be ambient, to be in the background, to be completely unavoidable.
And this isn't just theoretical. The integration has very real, tangible benefits. A Google internal report found that using Gemini in Workspace can slash the time it takes to draft emails by over a third. Now, imagine that level of productivity gain, but for every single task you do in every single app. You start to see how powerful this integration really is.
You know, the plan for Android is particularly telling.
This isn't some quick switcheroo, it's a very deliberate, multi-year transition. By 2026, the old Google Assistant will be a thing of the past, and Gemini will be the native intelligence layer for the most popular operating system on the planet.
Okay, so now let's talk about what makes this whole strategy even possible. Because underneath all the software, there's a massive, unbreachable competitive advantage that's built from silicon and steel. We're talking about the physical hardware moat. You know, you can learn a lot by just following the money. And the money here tells an incredible story. Google's spending on its custom AI chips, their TPUs, reportedly jumped from $2 billion in 2023 to nearly $10 billion in 2025. That's a five-fold increase. That's a signal of a massive all-in bet to scale their AI training far, far beyond what their competitors can.
And if you want to understand the sheer scale of ambition here, you have to look at something called Project Suncatcher. I mean, this is a moonshot concept for putting solar-powered data centers in space. Now, it's definitely far future stuff, but it shows you that Google is seriously thinking about a world with near unlimited AI compute power.
And this ambition isn't just a dream. It's built on a rock-solid foundation. We're talking about their 7th-generation Ironwood TPUs, a global network of hyper-efficient data centers, their boundary-pushing research in quantum computing, and of course, the constant innovation engine of DeepMind, which feeds breakthroughs directly into their product.
So when you combine everything we've talked about, the model's trajectory, the shift to agents, the ecosystem lock-in, and that massive physical moat, a very clear picture of Google's market position by 2026 starts to emerge.
When you actually put Gemini next to its competitors, you see that, yeah, each of them has unique strengths. GPT-4 is amazing at creative text. Claude is a leader in safety and alignment. But Gemini's defining advantage, its trump card, isn't just its huge context window or its multimodal skills. It's the deep, native integration into products that billions of people already use every single day.
So here it is. This is the whole playbook laid bare. Step 1. Build an unbeatable infrastructure advantage with custom hardware. Step 2. Use that advantage to train insanely powerful models like Gemini. Step 3. Weave those models into every single platform you own. And the result? Step 4. Total market dominance through a ubiquitous, inescapable AI environment.
And that brings us to the final, critical question. Does having the best model even matter if a competitor's AI is already seamlessly integrated into every tool you use, every device you own, and every search you make? That right there is the multi-trillion-dollar bet that Google is making.